Hi everybody, here we are with our second strong at home workout. Again, we're down in my basement, so we're going to be using different places, and my son Evan is filming for us again this morning, and he's going to be editing this and putting it together for me to add to the YouTube channel to get out to you as soon as we can. So our warm-up today, we're going to go through 2 rounds of 10 step-ups, 10 shoulder tap plank, 10 pull-aparts, 10 upright row. This we'll need our Theraband for. Then 10 windshield wipers. We're going to be warming up the muscles of the lower leg that play into our balance. And we'll do a little mobility priming with 5 lunge pulses. So 2 rounds of that. So what this looks like, you're going to use a staircase in your home for your 10 step-ups. So our stairs are just over here. And you're just going to step up and down for 10. In this case, we can't get our whole foot on the step because most of us, our stairs aren't that deep, but you're going to do the best you can. This is just getting you warmed up. And so once we've done 10 of those, then I believe we go to the shoulder tap plank. So we can do that on the floor. So we get down into the plank. Remember, keeping our belly tight, squeezing our glutes, and shifting the weight from one hand to the other as we touch the opposite shoulder. We can also go to the elbow if we need to, if that's too intense on our hands. We can also go to a higher height. You could use your stairs, for example, as your higher height if that's too hard for you to be down that low on the ground. So touching your opposite hand, or we can go back to our couch or our ottoman, which I have back over here. And we can do that here as well as another option. So from the shoulder tap plank, we go to the pull apart. So this is where if you have stairs, a newel post, something you can hook your band onto, and you're going to walk back and just do that upright row, keeping your elbows by your side, warming up our row for today. Then you'll take your Theraband, and we have 10 pull-aparts are next. So nice tight belly, tall spine, pulling that band apart, warming up the upper back. And I have to look again. What else? Oh yes, then we go to our windshield wipers. So you're just going to take a seated position. You're going to have your feet, for the most part, positioned just underneath your hips. You're going to place your hands on the top of the outside of your shin. You're going to do 10 in one direction, followed by 10 in the other. So you just twist your feet to the outside. So here I'm going to the right 10 times. And I should feel these muscles on the outside of my calf turning on as I do that. So I lift up my toes and turn to the outside. So we'll be doing 10 of those in each direction. If you find that that is easy for you, you can take your Theraband, tie a little knot in it to make a loop, position your feet there, and again, actually here you would just plant the one foot, turn the other foot out, and then you plant the one foot, turn the other foot out, and you're doing 10. So the last piece of our warm-up that we're going to do is a lunge pulse. So this is just a mobility piece. We're going to put our foot up on a coffee table, a chair, or an ottoman in my case, and you're going to go into your little lunge stance, and you're just dropping the knee and the hips straight down, in and out of that position 5 times on each leg. And so that's just helping us open up that hip and that hip flexor. So dropping the knee, keeping the hip level and square, preparing for the lunge work we have ahead. And that's our warm-up. Okay, now we're into the strength portion of our workout. So here we're going to be doing 4 sets, alternating between 2 exercises, lunges and a bent over row. So our lunges, we're going to be doing 8 reps on each leg. Some of you may need a stick or to be by a wall or even the edge of a couch or a countertop for this. You can choose to go reverse lunge or forward lunge, whichever you prefer. And remember, we're going down into our pain-free depth. So in my case, I'm going to do a reverse lunge. I'm going to step back with my right leg as far as I feel I can, drop my hips straight down, keeping my front knee at 90. I don't want that knee shooting over my front foot. My knee can be outside my ankle, but not inside my ankle. Ideally, it's right over top of my ankle, and then I'm going to stand through the heel of that front foot and bring my feet back together. I'm staying with my weight on the left leg, and I step back again with the right. So I'm going to do 8 on this leg before I switch to the other leg. If I feel like my balance is good and this is relatively easy, I can load this by holding a jug of vinegar or windshield wiper, one in one hand or one in each hand, totally up to you. Okay, the first set you might decide to do unloaded to see how you feel, and then the second set you might decide to try and load it up with whatever you have found around your home. So that is our lunge work. Now our bent over row, we'll find that ottoman, coffee table, maybe the side of your bed or your couch at home. You'll put one hand so that it's right underneath your shoulder. And your knee is going to be positioned so it's right underneath your hip. Remember, we don't want our hand and our knee tight together because that's going to cause that upper back to round out on us. So we want to make sure that we are properly spaced with our hand and our knee. In my case, I've got my jug of vinegar, which is about 9 pounds. And here I'm just going to pull it straight back, thinking about my elbow by my ribs. And I'm going to do 10 reps on one side. And then I turn to the other side and 10 reps there. So remember, we're doing 4 sets, alternating between the 2 exercises. Make sure you get your adequate rest anywhere between 1 minute to 3 minutes between each exercise. And then we move on to our workout. Okay, so here is your workout for today. This is going to be scalable to you and where you're at. We're going to do 5 rounds of burpees and step-ups. The rep scheme on the burpees is anywhere between 1 and 3. So it's all going to depend on how challenging your burpees are for you. If you are moving quickly and efficiently through your burpees and you don't find them that challenging, and you're not hitting that feeling of somewhere between a 5 and an 8 on our rate of perceived exertion scale, then you want to start to increase your reps. If you find burpees particularly challenging, then definitely go to 1 rep. Some of you may still be struggling to perform a complete burpee, so you might be going to an easier version of our burpee, and they aren't perhaps as taxing to your overall system, so you might, in that case, decide to do 3. And then our 10 step-ups, everybody knows how you're just going to do that from our warm-up. You're going to find your staircase, your step at home, and do 10 stepping up and down. So in the case of burpees, I'm going to review our basic options. So we've got 2 main options that most of us choose to do. One is our lunge, where we step back, get all the way down to the ground, knee on the floor, drop the other knee down to the ground, hands to the floor, and walk out. Some of you here will go to just a plank hold, and then you'll come back up. Some of you will get right down to your chest, push yourself back up, sending your hips back as you walk your hands in, back up to a tall kneel, to a lunge, and stand. Our other option is basically that squat stance option. So feet are a little wider. We go down into our squat. We lean forward, getting our hands to the ground. We walk hands and feet out. There's our plank. Some of us will drop our knees to the floor, lower down, push ourselves back up, and onto our feet, walking hands and feet in, and up you come. Our next scaling options for some of you where that is just too hard or getting down onto our knees is very challenging. we can go to an ottoman or the back of the couch. So we get our feet in close, we get our hands to the edge of that ottoman or couch, we walk our feet back. Here's a plank hold. Some of you might just stop here. Some of you might try and do a modified push-up and up, and then walk your feet back in to stand, okay? Those of you that are choosing this option, you might find that relatively easy. So that's where I'm suggesting that you might decide to do 3 reps of burpees as opposed to 1. Those of you that are getting down to the floor and you may find that particularly taxing, you might choose to do only 1 burpee. So you're going to go through 5 rounds of your burpees and 10 step-ups. The rep scheme on the step-up stays the same. And that's your workout for today. Good luck, have fun. Send me some pictures either before, during, or after. I'd love to share them with the group that's following along with this. And we'll see you next time.